Hello and welcome to this News Today special coming to you from Hyderabad, where remember the youngest state in the country, Telangana, goes to the polls a week from now. We'll have plenty for you today and over the next few days on the campaign trail here. But first, let me tell you our big talking point. 2 days after India's World Cup defeat, politics being played out over our cricket loss. And we'll ask, has cricket become caught in political one-upmanship? That's going to be our big talking point on the news today. And we'll be talking to cricketer turned politician Mohammad Azharuddin here in Hyderabad as he tries to win an election here. All that is coming up on the show. But as always, first, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9 on the news today. 41 workers still remain trapped in the Uttarkashi tunnel for the 10th consecutive day. Vertical drilling operations begin. India Today accesses first images of the workers who are trapped inside. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's video meeting with the Indian team soon after their World Cup loss triggers a political showdown. Rahul Gandhi calls Modi a panauti or a bad omen. The BJP hits back, calls the interaction an example of the PM's leadership. It's raining freebies in poll-bound Rajasthan. Congress announces 7 guarantees. Incumbent Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot promises a caste survey if voted back to power. Top court pulls up the Punjab government over the failure to curb farm fires, directs the Maan government to stop giving MSP benefits to stubble-burning farmers. ED attaches assets worth over 750 crore rupees in the money laundering probe against National Herald. Congress hits out, calls ED action illegal and petty politics. Centre sounds an alarm over sudden spurt of deepfake videos. IT Ministry to hold key meeting on combating deepfake dangers on 24th November. Manipur government submits a status report on ethnic violence to the Supreme Court, says 5 crore release to compensate women victims. Israel to meet with Hamas leaders to finalize a hostage deal. Hamas demands 3 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for an Israeli hostage. And noted Bollywood producer Ekta Kapoor bags an award at the International Emmy. Veer Das wins for his Netflix comedy special. He's among my newsmakers tonight. But let me come first with the story that's breaking this evening. Our breaking story is coming from the Enforcement Directorate, which has gone ahead and attached assets worth over 750 crore rupees for the Associate Journal Limited, the Congress-linked organization. It's attached the properties. Remember, this is in the National Herald case. National Herald House in Delhi, Nehru Bhavan in Lucknow, National Herald House in Mumbai and Haryana have all been attached as part of the ED's investigation into National Herald and Associate Journal Limited that's linked to the Congress party. That's the big story that's coming out. Congress is calling this this targeted action, they say, and saying it's illegal. Munish Pandey, who tracks the Enforcement Directorate for us, joins me. Munish, give me more details on exactly what has prompted the latest ED action.
Well, Rajdeep, as far as Enforcement Directorate is concerned, what they are claiming that during the investigation, they found that properties worth more than 600 crore rupees were in possession of AJL, and they have also claimed that they have tracked proceeds of crime worth more than 90 crore rupees to Young India. Why this becomes extremely important, Rajdeep? Because remember, earlier last year, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi were questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the same case. At that point of time, it was claimed that Young India is a direct beneficiary of these proceeds of crime, this entire financial irregularity. And now ED has come out with an official statement saying that during the investigation, they found proceeds of crime worth more than 750 crore rupees, to be precise, 750 1.9 crore rupees, and that is why 4 properties, one in Delhi, 2 in Lucknow, and 1 in Mumbai and Haryana, each they have been attached by the Enforcement Directorate. So far, ED claims that they have questioned more than a dozen people in this case. 7 persons in this case have been made accused in the case, including Young India, a company associated to Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. And now they have attached these property, which means that these properties will be in possession of Enforcement Directorate after 180 days, if at all Congress party or those who are directors of Young India, they do not appeal before the appellate court. Rajdeep, it is also interesting to point out that when Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi were questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, they denied the allegations. They said that Young India is a charitable trust. Not a single penny has gone to anyone's pocket. But ED claims that these properties were used for commercial properties after 2008, when AGL stopped publishing the newspaper for which they were given these lands for very minimum price. But even after denial of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, ED has gone ahead and claiming that they have evidence of money laundering. They have attached these properties.
Okay, and all of this, of course, happening slap bang in the middle of election campaigning. Munish Pandey with those details on that big case. Okay, let's turn from there to our other big breaking news that we are getting you at this moment. Well, the news that's also coming in is the big story on the rescue operations that continue in Uttarkashi. A 6-inch food pipeline that was laid yesterday at the Silkyara tunnel in Uttarkashi is now fully operational. About 5 to 10 kgs each of different fruits like apples, oranges, sweet lime, and 5 dozen bananas have been successfully delivered inside to the 41 laborers who are trapped inside. In addition, packets of medicine, salt, electrol have also been sent. Preparations are now afoot to send cooked food like khichdi, roti, sabzi. Other rescue operations continue as has been explained earlier. So what the good news is that the 41 workers trapped inside are now getting regular food and fruit after 10 days. Now remember, all of this would suggest that there is light at the end of the tunnel for these 41 workers trapped in Uttarkashi. For the first time in nearly 250 hours, an endoscopic camera has captured images of these 41 workers, and all signs are that they at the moment are certainly out of danger in terms of danger to life. The big question is, how do you bring them out? Vertical drilling operations have now begun, and the hope is that the workers will be out soon. It's our other top story.
First images of the workers from the inside of Uttarkashi tunnel, where they have been trapped for 10 days now. The footage accessed by India Today shows the workers interacting with rescue team members on Tuesday. The breakthrough was made possible after cameras were inserted through a 6-inch pipe that reached the workers' location Monday evening. A radio set was sent inside the tunnel to the workers through the new pipe, but it did not work due to connectivity issues. Rescue teams are sending food and water to the trapped workers through the pipe.
The central agencies, the international agencies which are giving inputs, they are working on 5 different rescue plans, of which 3 are the top priority plans. One from in the front of the Silkyara tunnel, the other is vertical drilling. Third one is from being done from Barkot. All these have its own advantages and disadvantages, and agencies are parallelly working on these plans.
A 3-way drilling mission is on to get the trapped workers out of the tunnel. While around 450 to 480 meters of horizontal drilling is needed at the Barkot end of the tunnel, Around 60 to 70 meters of horizontal drilling is needed at the Silkyara end of the tunnel to reach the workers. Another vertical drilling of 89 meters from the hilltop is also being done to give more option.
मेरे पीछे आप जो सतह देख रहे हैं ये वही हिस्सा है जहां आपको लाल झंडा दिखाई दे रहा है। जियो सर्वे की टीम है जिसका सामान यहाँ पर है और यहीं से खुदाई होनी है। दरअसल काफ़ी तैयारियां इसे से आपने सबको समतल कर दिया गया है। यहीं से बोरवेल होना है, यहीं से ड्रिलिंग होनी है और यहीं से लगभग 81 मीटर नीचे पाइप भेजी जाएगी ताकि उन मजदूरों तक पहुंचा जा सके। वर्टिकल ड्रिलिंग सबसे महत्वपूर्ण परियोजना है।
There are different companies and experts who have come from all over and trying to pitch in terms of the best and the quickest possible solution, but which is safe for the the trapped people also.
The Indian Air Force has airlifted 36 tons of equipment to the accident site to help with the rescue mission. The Prime Minister's office is keeping a close watch on the operations. Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Singh Dhami spoke to PM Narendra Modi on Tuesday morning.
सभी एजेंसियां और सभी जो इंजीनियर, टेक्नीशियन, विशेषज्ञ इस काम में लगे हैं, उनकी मेहनत और परिश्रम से 6 इंच की जो पाइप है वो अंदर पहुंच गई है और उससे अब भोजन और सभी प्रकार की जो खाद्य सामग्री है उनके लिए पहुंच पाएगी। निश्चित रूप से ये हम सबको प्रोत्साहित करने वाली है।
The rescue teams are pursuing multiple routes to take out the trapped workers. The hope is one of the escape passages will become operational soon. With Amit Bharadwaj and Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
And our hopes and thoughts and prayers remain with the trapped laborers. Let's turn from there to our talking point tonight, which comes, well, from cricket, but a very different pitch. 2 days after India lost the World Cup final to Australia, the politics has reached a new level, or should I say a new low. You've got the Prime Minister's pictures coming out, a video of the Prime Minister visiting the dressing room to console the players after their loss. This has triggered the opposition to target the Prime Minister. Some are saying this was drama designed for the camera, and others are questioning the Prime Minister's presence in the dressing room itself. The BJP says it's proof of the Prime Minister's leadership. Rahul Gandhi has gone to the extent, though, of saying the Prime Minister is a panauti or a bad omen. Clearly, cricket is being politicized, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, take a look at our story.
आप लोग पूरा 10-10 गेम जीत के आए हो, ये तो होता रहता है। दूसरा ये भाई, देश आप लोगों को देख रहा है।
The Prime Minister motivating Team India after their loss in the World Cup finals on Sunday.
हमें बहुत अच्छा किया है इस बार।
The new video of the Prime Minister's interaction with the men in blue has triggered a political storm. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi blamed the Prime Minister for India's loss.
अपने हर एक भाषण में पहले नरेंद्र मोदी आते थे, कहते थे मैं ओबीसी हूं। याद है आपको? याद है? हाँ, क्या? पनौती पनौती पनौती। अच्छा वाला हमारे लड़के वहां पे वर्ल्ड कप जीत जाते, वो वहां पे पनौती हरवा दिया।
The Congress has called the video a choreographed consolation by the master of drama in India.
आप अपने खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल बढ़ाने गए थे, पर वो खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल नहीं, खिलाड़ी तनाव में आ गए। जब वर्ल्ड कप सीरीज स्टार्ट हुई तभी इनको साथ बैठना चाहिए था, उनको अपना बेस्ट ऑफ लक कहना चाहिए था। चुनाव में जाके बैठ के जो केवल सिरे लेने के लिए गए हैं, वो हार में एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है।
Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi has also hit out, saying that the players looked uncomfortable with the PM. Former cricketer and TMC leader, who was also a part of the 1983 World Cup winning team, slammed the PM for entering the players' dressing room.
So this is some place that should not be entered. And you, like I've heard the BJP guys saying, he's the Prime Minister, he can go anywhere. Fair enough. But the Prime Minister of this country or a laborer of this country are not above the law. Once the laws are laid down by the ICC after the match fixing issue, that nobody apart from the players or the support staff can go in, and that too with a camera.
The BJP says the interaction is an example of the Prime Minister's leadership, who stood by the team when the chips are down.
He's actually continuing the Congress tradition of calling all abusive names of the Prime Minister. We need to see what is the approach Congress takes, whether it is sports or whether in their hatred for PM. This is another classic example.
As far as sportsmen are concerned, whether it's the Asian Games, the Commonwealth Games, India has done spectacularly well because of the kind of support that has been provided by the government of India. True leader is somebody who stands by the team when the chips are down, and that's exactly what the Prime Minister did. He deserves great kudos for it.
Panoti.
In this politically challenged election season, even sports has become fair game.
आप लोग बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की है और चलिए होता है
Bureau Report, India Today.
और साथियों को एक दूसरे को जरा हौसला बुलंद करते चलिए.
Let's raise then the big questions from that story. Can politics be kept out of cricket? Is cricket tangled in political one-upmanship? Is the BCCI about just political power above all else? Questions that I will raise with my panelists. Kirti Azad, former World Cup winner, now Trinamool Congress leader, is joining me. Ajoy Kumar, Congress's spokesperson. Desh Ratan Nigam is someone who strongly supports Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Pradeep Magazine is senior sports and cricket journalist. I appreciate all of you joining us. I want to come to you, Kirti Azad, first. You're a cricketer. You're a World Cup champion. You're among those who's called the Prime Minister Panoti or a bad omen, as Rahul Gandhi did. Surely that is a low-level comment to make. Surely cricket has nothing to do with whether a politician attends a match or not. It's not as if the 2011 World Cup or 1983 World Cup was won because of Indira Gandhi or 2011 because of the UPA. Just as this World Cup was not lost because of Prime Minister Modi. Why call him a panauti and try and make it out to be as if he is responsible for our defeat?
Minister was there. It is being trended by the public, by crores of people who are on social media. I didn't trend Panauti. I saw that. And I found it very funny that it happened with Chandrayaan and then again here, which obviously was a very serious matter. So I just hashtag that. I simply said that dressing rooms are like a sanctum sanctorium for players. It's something which is very private. It's where you plan. It's where you post-mortem matches. It's where you decide. You find people crying, fighting, arguing. There are so many things going on. People even moving around naked in the dressing rooms, going for a shower or whatever. So this is a place which has been restricted by the ICC for simple reason. Nobody should enter except for players and the support staff. Nobody else can go there. I mean, if the Prime Minister wanted to meet somebody, it was perfectly fine. You're going into a dressing room, that too with a camera, where you're not allowed. And with you is the Secretary of the BCCI, also the Chairman of the Asian Cricket Council, along with the Honorable Home Minister of India, who is the Cabinet Minister with in Mr. Modi's cabinet. Now, all this is happening in a dressing room where the atmosphere is very sad. The people are really not really in the mood to meet anybody or talk to anyone. But if we went there to encourage them, not that they would have got into depression if he hadn't gone there, there's a beautiful VIP room on the side. Generally, people go and meet into VIP rooms. You leave that place. That's very private. That's very personal. And it's also against the rules of the ICC that you go and visit a dressing room. You shouldn't have done that.
No, Mr. Azad, you will recall President Emmanuel Macron, when France lost the FIFA World Cup, went and consoled his players. It almost seems as if anything that Narendra Modi does is reason for you to target him. I can understand you to some extent saying why were cameras there. There I can understand. Maybe there was a question mark over having a camera inside when the Prime Minister went to console. But what's wrong if he goes and condoles with the players? He's consoling the players at a time when they've had a very difficult loss. Isn't that what leadership is about?
Yes, I do agree. But FIFA and ICC rules are different. I remember in 1999 when I became a member of parliament for the first time and there was this Hansi Kronia match fixing case. I was there in parliament and I had raised this issue. And then you had IPL and then there were fixing charges on various owners of the IPL teams. And it was then ICC decided that nobody can go either into the dugout except players or inside the dressing room. Nobody except the players, support staff, not even family members, not even ex-players. I mean, obviously, I would like to mention Kapil, who was the captain for 83, was not even invited. He can't go. Dhoni cannot go. Mr. Gavaskar cannot go. None of these people can go into the dressing room. So let's follow the law. If you want to meet the players, meet them. Don't go with the camera. Don't make it a kind of a spectacle. Was it something like Aapda mein avsar dhoond rahe the aap? I mean, you have a VIP room. Go there and speak to the players, talk to them. That stuff, there's everything, their underwears, their clothes, soiled clothes, shoes, okay, things are lying around. So it doesn't look nice.
Okay, you made your point. You're saying that the dressing room is a sacred place. The Prime Minister shouldn't have entered it. Desh Ratan Nigam, do you want to respond to that? The manner in which the cameras were following the Prime Minister right into the dressing room, clearly the players were not interested at that moment in meeting the Prime Minister.
Well, Rajdeep, there was some audio issue, so I could not hear Kirti Azad, and therefore let me answer. Our Prime Minister is unequivocal in supporting our sports players. And even scientists also, if you recall Chandrayaan-2 when failed, the way he consoled our scientists, he said, never mind, there's always a next time. And similarly, he has been meeting all the sports federation. Remember when Indian women's hockey team lost? And he says, please don't cry. He was in direct touch when they were not even in India, directly calling them, congratulating when they win, and consoling and encouraging them when they lose. So this was a similar incident. You cannot...
Sir, my point is, why should a camera be there? Why should it... Sir, it's a private moment. Why do you need a camera? Then it becomes a feeling that the camera is being used in a way, or the Prime Minister is being accused then of converting it into some kind of a spectacle, according to Kirti Azad. He could have gone there, consoled with them. Why does he need a camera to go along with him?
Let me answer this. The sports rights are given by BCCI to certain organization. It is their cameras. It is not the Prime Minister's cameras. They follow the Prime Minister. It is not the Prime Minister's Doordarshan camera, which officially the Doordarshan goes and the camera goes. It is the rights who have been given to a TV channel, particular TV channel. It is their cameras they went where the Prime Minister went. So it is not the Prime Minister who was carrying those cameras. Please understand that that's a distinction you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, in the Prime Minister's function, the official cameramen are from either Doordarshan or Sansad TV. This is how the protocol works with the Prime Minister.
You know, I want to bring in at this moment Ajoy Kumar of the Congress, because let's be clear, Ajoy Kumar, every political party tries to latch on to our cricketers in victory or defeat. When the cricketers were coming back in 1983, Mrs. Indira Gandhi made sure that they first came to her house. She congratulated them, and then they went to their respective destinations. So it's not as if, whether in victory or defeat, those in power like to latch on to cricketers. Now when Rahul Gandhi calls the Prime Minister Panauti, the question I asked Kirti Azad, whether it is in 1983, Mrs. Gandhi had nothing to do with the victory. Similarly, Mr. Modi has nothing to do with the defeat. It seemed like a very cheap shot that Rahul Gandhi took on Prime Minister Modi. Ajoy Kumar? Ajoy Kumar, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, one second. When the Prime Minister himself says that when the crude prices are coming low, I'm lucky. And all these ridiculous statements he's made over the years. Now when you go and lose a match and when somebody makes up a point, which is you are claiming first that when the crude prices are Modi lucky hai, Modi ka kismat hai. Now, when you lose it, then you're feeling offended. But the most important point is, I want to tell Mr. Deswatan Nigam, first of all, the Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't send a spokesperson because they're embarrassed to answer this question. The fact is, it's not a TV channel which went there. The Prime Minister has remarkable ability to, and I don't know where they're getting this information. And who put this out? Did the TV channel put it out? Or did Mr. Modi put it out or somebody put it out? Did some TV channel put it out and Mr. Modi went? Or was it an ANI leak? So this whole story about TV channels who are showing the match took the camera along with Mr. Modi is ridiculous. Secondly, I'll complete. Please give me some time. No grace. The team needs to be alone. But this is Modi's opportunity to again Dindora Pita have some sense of some sense of propriety. The team doesn't need it. Jabardasti haath pakadna, jabardasti ghusna, jabardasti jappi marna. What is this? We don't need. The point is, does any team need Mr. Modi needs the Indian cricket team? The Indian cricket team doesn't need Mr. Modi first. And as far as sports person, what about the female wrestlers who were protesting? Mr. Modi thinks about sports person. Those girls were protesting for molestation, and he had no sense of shame even to call them. And he's concerned about sports. What about Dinesh Fogart? What about the tears? What about the molestation by the member of parliament?
No, seems to be a case, Ajay Kumar, of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Before the match, there was the Congress's social media cell and various social media cells were, their supporters were saying if India loses, Mr. Modi will not even go to Ahmedabad. Truth is, he went there, he gave the trophy, he goes and consoles the team. Now, the BJP says that's a sign of leadership, that even when the team has lost, the Prime Minister is still there with the team. What's wrong with that?
First question is, he goes to a stadium called Narendra Modi Stadium and changes the name of Sardar Patel. The man they keep claiming, our greatest leader, that stadium was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium. And he names it after himself, goes himself, hoping it will. You should have seen the expression on their face, because it was a political stunt. He went there to see if Mr. Modi, and I'll tell you very categorically, did he go to console or did he go to shine his politics? Any child will also say that Mr. Modi was doing it only for political. Even the cricketers knew. Look at their expression. There is no debate. Look at them. They know he's doing a political stunt. I mean, I saw all the cricketers. Look at Virat's face. Look at the other people's face. You think they're happy?
Can I just for a moment, you're using very strong words, and because you're in the opposition, I guess you're entitled to see it the way you do. But Pradeep Magazine, you've tracked this game for years. Do you believe that the dressing room is as sacred as Kirti Azad makes it out to be? Should political leaders enter it at all? Are we saying that the Prime Minister of the country should not enter? Emmanuel Macron, I repeat, was there with Kylian Mbappe, the footballer after France lost the World Cup last year. Are we saying politicians should not be seen with sportspersons after victory or defeat?
Rajdeep, look, I don't want to get into this debate of Congress, BJP, because both political parties or whichever political party has been the ruling party has milked cricket for their own publicity purposes. Right now, there are entire BJP, because of the Lodha ban, they can't themselves be office bearers. Their children or brothers are office bearers. I want to raise a larger issue. Look, who politicize? I think today we are at the extreme of politicization of sports and cricket as well. How could we have had Ahmedabad as the center hosting the final? We had Calcutta, we have Wankhede in Bombay. They are the cricketing centers. We make Ahmedabad, okay, it's a huge grand stadium, but we make cricketers play there a final. The crowd, we saw how embarrassed India was day before yesterday because there was a crowd which was not interested in cricket. We had film stars being shown repeatedly on television. Was Kirti Azad there? Was he invited? He is the member of the 1983 World Cup winning team. Kapil Dev was not invited. I don't know about Dhoni, but he was not there. So it was a spectacle, it seemed, designed for India, winning the World Cup, that is fine. We all wanted India to win the World Cup. They were the strongest team there. But to put so much of pressure on them, I think when you make this that India will win, there are 1 lakh people there inside. The Prime Minister himself goes there. I felt that it was creating a pressure on a team which they need to get so much pressurized. What I'm trying to say is that politics and sports always mix, as he was talking about Macron, but he was also severely criticized by the French press for what he did there by hugging that player, and because he was crying, and they felt that Macron was using that for his own publicity purposes. And there was tremendous criticism there, not from the political parties, but from the neutral, supposedly neutral press. So if you politicize the sport, if you take credit for victory as we have provided them with space, money, infrastructure, then in defeat also people will say that why don't you take responsibility for that?
You make a good point. You make a very good point there, Pradeep, that if you take credit every time India wins, then you must be prepared in a way to also accept flack if you are seen to be politicizing the sport. But Kirti Azad, I come back to it. The way the BCCI is structured, over the years, politicians have always been involved. Whichever is the ruling party, in a way, controls sport, controls India's most popular sport, cricket. The Prime Minister, dare I say, was also, if you recall, President of the Gujarat Cricket Association earlier, as was Amit Shah, as was a Sharad Pawar, as today is a Vaibhav Gehlot, the son of Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan. So it appears that politics and cricket will always get entangled. In that sense, can you keep cricket away from politics? Is that at all possible in your view?
If the Lodha committee was taken in toto and later on the way the rules were diluted by the subsequent Chief Justices, I'm not, please for God's sake, saying anything against the court, but the way he had made it out, the first draft that had come out, which was accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court, and then over the years, how it got diluted, you got the politicians back into power. But they know how to get into backdoor entries. We have lots of these instances which shows that they have come in. But it was never like this before. Before Lodha, you had people, you had great cricket lovers in Mother House, India. You had great cricket lovers in Mr. NKP Salve. They were great cricket lovers to an extent. Even Sharad Pawar was a very good, great cricket lover. But they never intervened into cricket going to such an extent where they would go and even at times question the selection of the side. This is what I am talking about. Had the Lodha committee, the first draft that was accepted by the Supreme Court, had it been there, the political interference would have been only 5 or 6%, and that would have made no difference.
No, are you saying Jai Shah has no love for cricket? No, Kirti Azad, are you saying Jai Shah has no love for cricket? Is that what you're saying? And that he's actually intervening in selections, pitches and other issues? Is that a charge you're making today? And do you have evidence to back that?
No. No, I'm not. I didn't say that. I said to an extent that we come to know. I'm not saying that Jai Shah is, he's not a cricketer. He's a cricket lover. 1.3 billion people in our country, they love cricket. All of them love cricket. But can you imagine, I read in the newspapers that all the World Cup captains, champion team captains since 1975 are coming to Ahmedabad and are being honored there. And then what I come to know, listen to my captain, the captain who made India the cricketing superpower, where India got its first World Cup in 1987 when ICC had presidents and chairmen because of that 83 victory. You had the TWI, ESPN coming in, 30 cameras, commercialization. It all started during 1983. And here was our captain Kapil Dev, that legendary man, the greatest all-rounder, and I can arguably prove why, was not invited. So can you imagine the kind of, and even MS Dhoni for that matter. Just can you imagine the apathy? You see the real or the duplicate Kapil Dev there, dancing there, and you find other film stars. Fair enough, I have no objections. But why not these great cricketers?
Okay, let me take that to Desh Ratan Nigam. You know, Desh Ratan Nigam, the sense that I'm getting is that the charge being made by critics is that this was all event management choreographed. right down to the point of the Prime Minister coming into the dressing room to console the players. It was all event managed and choreographed, and that's not the way the sport should be. The sport, the players should be allowed to express themselves free of any hyper-nationalism or trying to suggest that there's an inevitability of India winning at all costs the match. Do you believe that the government is playing too much of a role in a sport like cricket because they want to take the glamour and the appeal of cricket on their side?
Well, Rajdeep, let me tell you, if it was choreographed, then probably the government of India knew that India is going to reach final, and therefore they fixed Ahmedabad as the center. I mean, how preposterous this is. And the Prime Minister's protocol is decided much before whether India reaches the final or does not reach the final. And then the invitation to the Prime Minister of Australia or their requisite person is also done very well in advance. To stretch it in such kind of wildest imagination, I think it is preposterous. That means India, everything was choreographed. India's reaching the final was choreographed. India's that in advance deciding Ahmedabad over Kolkata or Mumbai was decided in advance. See, 2 semi-finals went to Mumbai and Kolkata, and the largest stadium got the final. Let us keep it at that, as simple. Now, so far as the politicians, interfering in BCCI affairs, there was a proposal in 2011 by Ajay Maken, the then sports minister, to register BCCI as, it was an offer to register BCCI as a national sports federation. BCCI rejected it. He says, we don't want anything from the government. We don't want any grants from the government. Therefore, we will not be under any kind of control of the government. Therefore, government interference cannot take place in this particular body as compared to other national federations where they get grants and assistance from the government. So this is an absolutely different body, and government cannot interfere.
I take your point, but Desh Ratan Nigam, the truth is most of the office bearers of the BCCI at the higher level, most of them, not all, most of them have some links or the other to the BJP or the BJP leadership. So in that sense, and I'm not saying that it hasn't been done by previous governments before, the truth of the matter is the BJP is trying to take over the BCCI. Why not accept that?
See, the fact is, nobody can deny that there is a link between politics and sports all over the world, including India. And therefore, what happens is that there are free and fair elections. If politicians stand and win those elections, then can you stop it? There are no rules or regulations within the BCI or otherwise to stop them from contesting any elections. Otherwise, it will be discriminatory in terms of Indian constitution. Please remember that.
I want to give Pradeep a final word as a journalist who's covered sport for several years. Pradeep, what's the big lesson, the big takeaway then? Is the big takeaway that politicians should simply keep out of the direct functioning of the cricket? They can do their administration, but not get involved. The dressing room in particular must be sacred above all else. Let the players play, and they did spectacularly well during the World Cup. Don't try to latch on to their glamour and appeal.
You're right, Rajdeep. Politicians will get into the board or any other sports federation. You can't stop them. You constitutionally or by law, you just can't prevent them from getting there. If they get votes, as Ratan Nigam is saying, if they are elected, they'll be there. But the point is that you do not interfere, as you are saying, with the cricketing matters. I mean, I would have loved to see Mr. Modi is the Prime Minister of the country, has every right to meet the players, has every right to encourage them. But I personally would have loved to see somebody like Kapil Dev going into the dressing room at that moment of time, and because he understands, he knows what it means to win and what it means to lose. I mean, to politicize it to the extent that cricket lines get blurred between politics and cricket, it's sad. I think a call should be taken by the politicians themselves that leave sports alone. Yes, reward them when they win, meet them when they win, felicitate them when they win, encourage them if they lose, but don't interfere. Don't make it as if it's about yourself and not about the sport.
Right. I think messages have gone out loud and clear in this discussion. And I hope as cricket lovers, as sports lovers, someone out there is listening. Sports is something sacred, and let's retain that sanctity is what I think many people are suggesting. I appreciate all my guests joining me on my main talking point today. Okay, my election story comes from here in Telangana. I'm in Hyderabad, and just a short while ago, speaking of cricket and politics, I caught up with the former Indian captain, now contesting from Jubilee Hills in Hyderabad in a prestige battle, Mohammad Azharuddin. His critics are saying Azharuddin is an outsider and doesn't know politics. What does Azhar have to say? Listen in. Azhar bhai, what is more difficult? Playing cricket for India or contesting from Jubilee Hills?
Playing cricket was always very easy.
Was very easy?
Definitely, because I was trained for that. But with politics, I'm still learning. Inshallah, it's good,
What is the most difficult thing you're finding about contesting this election in Jubilee Hills?
We have to take care of everybody, The most important thing is that, the constituency, the people who live here, in a very trying condition. That is the most, important thing I want to do. It's a lot of hard work, because I know cricket was easy, but in politics, you get the result very fast. In one month campaigning, you'll get the result. But in cricket, it took me almost 12 years to come into the Indian team.
But both Owaisi and KT Ramarao are saying you are an outsider. Azharuddin is an outsider in Jubilee Hills. He doesn't know Jubilee Hills.
I am a pure blood, pure Telangana blood. I am born, brought up, fed here. Because these people have come from outside. I am not from outside. I am from Telangana. I have lived in Jubilee Hills for 10 years. Now I live in Banjara Hills. All these talks they are doing is because they haven't done anything concrete. So they have nothing to show about development. They have nothing to show what they have done for the Telangana. They are saying Bangaru Telangana. Rajiv, I want to tell you this constituency, KTR Sahab lives just across. He doesn't know anything. He came only last time when there was election. Before the rally, now he came day before yesterday and he's saying I am not a serious politician. When I can go from Telangana and win in Moradabad, then I must be having some quality, some seriousness is there.
He's saying that you contested Moradabad, you contested Tog. What is Azharuddin's, has he ever worked in Jubilee Hills?
No, I am working in Jubilee Hills for the last 4 or 5 months. There's nothing wrong. I mean, what he has done, what they have done. What the MLA who's there for the last 10 years haven't done anything.
But it's also Owaisi versus Azharuddin. Azharuddin Owaisi has been the face of Hyderabad. Are you challenging him in a way? He has put up a candidate against you here.
No, we are challenging. There is no, the challenge is always there. When you are on the field, there is a challenge. You have to challenge, you have to work hard. You stand, work hard on your basics. I am only worried about my party. What anybody does, it's not my
He's saying Owaisi says he's going to defeat Azharuddin. That's why he's put up a candidate.
On the third we will know who will defeat who. But I think the only thing, what he is doing, everybody knows. He's got
what is he doing?
You know what he's doing. He just puts everywhere candidates. He can't win because he cuts vote. And then he's the person who has not done anything for the community. Just by standing here and talking all things, being big speeches about this thing, it is not going to help. People have understood now in Hyderabad also and all over India.
Are you saying that Owaisi is dividing the Muslim vote? He has come here to divide the Muslim vote.
100%. That is what he's doing. You tell me. He's saying one point, he's saying, I am for minority. What is he doing for the minority? He's going everywhere and putting the candidate. And then he's saying he's helping minority. What is helping?
But he has won in Hyderabad for several decades now. First his father and him. He says he has a loyal vote because he works among the people.
I have also worked everywhere. It's not that everybody is loyal. We are also loyal. We will also work. I have also worked in, wherever I've got an opportunity, I've worked. There is nothing wrong in that because just by talking unnecessary is not going to help him in any which way.
Owaisi says Azharuddin should stick to the cricket pitch. Let me fight the political pitch. I am the man for Hyderabad.
I want to tell you, he cannot become a cricketer. I can become a politician. I will become a politician. I am a politician and cricketer. He must know he will never play for India. Remember that. He should remember all those things.
But in conclusion, Azhar bhai, is this something now that you have decided I will now focus my attention on Hyderabad, on Jubilee Hills? If you lose, will you leave the constituency?
No, definitely I will not leave. I have all very good people. Naveen bhai is there, Upendra is there. Then Yadav is there.
It's a very tough constituency. It's a tough constituency.
Everything is tough in life. You have to face. When you win from a tough situation, then you show. Then it shows the gut of a man.
So you're telling me that you're here to stay in politics here. I will ask you again, Hyderabad has a large Muslim population. Yes. Is this somewhere, who is the face in a way for the Hyderabadi Muslim, Owaisi or Azharuddin? Is that one of the...
The person who does a lot of work, the person who talks correctly, the person who has helped the constituency, the person who is willing to work for the constituency, he is the person not giving stupid speeches, just standing here and giving whatever he feels like.
Says, I built schools, I built colleges, I built hospitals in Hyderabad.
Well, that is fine, it's good for him. That is his own. I am also doing. I have done also in Moradabad. I got an opportunity in Moradabad. I have also done a lot of work. So
is this a personal battle you
I
want
don't
to
have
oversee?
anything personal. I have nothing, no enmity with nothing. Because if you say something about me, then I will revert back. I will say. I am not the person who will, say anything wrong. But if somebody attacks me, then they should also learn to get attacked.
Are you all now friends who are political enemies?
No, we are political. We are fighting. He is fighting from his own party. I am fighting from my own party. Everybody has the right. It's a democratic country. Anybody can fight to anybody.
One thing I see, you're still fit.
No,
How do you keep yourself fit?
Yeah, because I have to fit. To fight these people, I have to fit.
Okay.
Have to be fit. Yeah.
Mohammad Azharuddin, we wish you well on the campaign trail.